Hi, this is Joe again with another video. And for the start of this video, instead of doing a stereotypical movie review or a TV show review, we're going to do a baseball video here. And of course, obviously you can tell from behind me, I'm a big baseball fan. So I'm going to do a video on uh, a minor league baseball team that, excuse me, a minor league baseball team of the New York Mets, which just happened to be the Brooklyn Cyclones. Which of course the season is about to start in a couple of weeks from now, the 2015 season. It just happens to be the 15th season of the team. Now I'm not gonna go over review all 15 seasons. I mean, it's going to be redundant. I'm just going to talk about the first year. It took place in 2001. I know there was a Facebook page for the Brooklyn Cyclones that was made up by a fan. The real Brooklyn Cyclone and Brooklyn Bolts, which is an independent league football team that played in the same stadium the Cyclones did. Uh, but I'm also going to focus on, and I'm going to link it to that site as soon as I get this video uploaded. But I'm going to mostly focus on the first season, which took place in 2001. And of course, that was the year when baseball finally returned to Brooklyn after 44 long years. I mean, really long years without a baseball team, because we know the baseball team that used to play in Brooklyn, which were the Brooklyn Dodgers, was playing baseball there since time immemorial, since the 1800s or late 1800s, to when they moved out of Brooklyn after the 1957 season. So between 1957 and 2000 and until 2000, or 1958 to 2000, there wasn't any baseball team in Brooklyn, nothing. And and of course, over the years, and I mentioned my screwing of the New York Mets video. Uh, they tried to get another team and it got stiffed. So for a long time, they really pretty much left it alone. And then in the late '90s, the Yankees wanted to have the New York Yankees wanted to have a minor league baseball team in Staten Island. And since they share, excuse me here, since they share the same town as the Mets have to give them rights to have a team there. And so the Mets went to Mayor Giuliani, who of course was mayor then, and the greatest mayor in New York City history, by the way, says, hey, Wilbur said to him, hey, how about us? How about having a minor league team for us? They said, okay, if George Steinbrenner can sign up for it. And Steinbrenner agreed, sign up for it. It's okay. If that's the only way they have a minor league team is if they approve, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, type of deal. So that's how the Mets got approved. The team of Staten Island, Steinbrenner agreed to have a minor league team here in New York for the Mets as well. So this is what happened. And of course, where was the best play? Well, the Yankees already agreed to have a team over in Staten Island. So I said, okay, where can we have a team for us? A minor league team for us. They think around Long Island, like in Nassau County. Well, not Suffolk County, because they only have an independent league team there, but the Long Island Ducks. So they said, oh, where can we have a site for us? And they picked, of all places, of Coney Island, in Brooklyn, of course. And they picked the site or the area where the ballpark is, which had to be Keyspan Park, but now it's renamed MCU Park. They picked the site which used to be, for those of you who used to spend your childhood during the 40s, 50s, and very early 60s in Coney Island, and spend time in Steeplechase Park, where they have the electric horses running around outside at the pavilion. They have the old parachute drop, which is now a landmark, a Brooklyn landmark, and stands outside of right field, or the right field gate, or the outfield gate when fans walk in. That's the old parachute jump, the old parachute drop. and that's the site they picked for the ballpark. And of course, during the 2001 season, they had an instant rivalry with the Brooklyn Cyclones. Not the Brooklyn, I mean the Staten Island Yankees. And let me tell you how big the rivalry was, at least the first 2 years, or even 3 years. They used to run a ferry, the famous Staten Island ferry. They used to run a ferry from Staten Island to Steeplechase Pier, in Cornwall, which is just across the boardwalk from where the ballpark is. On the famous Corn Island Boardwalk, the other side is the Steeplechase Pier, it's right across the back entrance of the ballpark. And they used to run a ferry from Staten Island to Coney Island, which after the first 2 years, maybe into the third year, they stopped doing it. Which was really a shame because it really was fun and it added to the rivalry and even more publicity to the two teams. And when the Brooklyn Cyclones used to play in Staten Island, they used to do the opposite. Travel fans from Brooklyn to the Staten Island ballpark. The Staten Island ballpark is not that whole lot easy to get to. You either get it by car, go over the Venezuela Bridge, or go use the ferry. So the Staten Island ferry to get out there. Through the Staten Island ferry is free. Contrary to recent reports, it's not people. Commonwealth were charging people that got $150 to $200 to ride the ferry, which is a whole separate issue. But it was kind of fun. The first year they had the two rivalries of the two teams. What was great about the first year of the Brooklyn Cyclones was, I mean, I haven't been to a minor league game before, so it's a real novelty for me. And my father and I later on would have had season tickets for 2 years for the Cyclones, in 2003 and 2004 seasons, the third and fourth seasons. But what made it hard was the traveling, get down to Coney Island. Because from my house, I live in Queens, and to get out to Coney Island, Brooklyn, I had to take the subway since I didn't have a car. It would take me about between an hour and 30 minutes to an hour and 45 minutes, just one way to Coney Island. You can imagine how early I have to leave my house just to even get to the game on time. And to give out a promotion that I really wanted to get, like a bobblehead doll or a cap or something like that, I really have to get there just when the gate opens. Otherwise, I'm not going to get the item. It's happened a few times to several fans the first few years. But in the first year, I mean, the Cyclones did great. I mean, they were like almost. I think they played like 38 games at home, and they lost like only like maybe not even 10 games at home. They were like 28 and 10 or something like that, or 30 and 8 at home. It was some kind of real wacky, real wacky schedule that they had. That they went almost undefeated at home. And specifically, they were undefeated at home against the Staten Island Yankees. I mean, they never lost on one single game the entire season. And I thought that was, in my opinion, was the best team the Brooklyn Cyclones ever had was their first year. And I didn't even expect that the first year team would do that well. Before I go on, they should tell you that the Brooklyn Cyclones and the Staten Island Yankees are in the New York Penn League, which is a short season A League, and they only play like 76 games a year. And because of this league they have with the Cyclones and the Yankees, they added in 2005 they added an All-Star game, which they already had 2 games already played at Keyspan Park already. Since 2005. And the funny thing is that it took Major League Baseball 49 years between All-Star games at Citi Field for the Mets to host All-Star games, which is, to me, as a Met fan, it's outrageous. Anyway, for the first team on the Cyclones, they did have a couple, surprisingly, only like a couple of players, like 2 or 3 players total that actually reached the major leagues out of the whole team. They had Angel Burgon, who got signed by the Cubs originally as a minor league free agent, Then he came back for the Mets, played for the Mets for like 2 years, and now currently he's playing for the Giants. He's the only current member of the 2001 Brooklyn Cyclones who is still playing in the major leagues, which is also kind of sad. But they also have Mike Jacobs, who originally was a catcher, but came up as a first baseman. But I think he was suspended 50 games in the minor leagues for another team. I forgot which team it was. For 50 games for steroid use. Um, and I think also they had Danny Garcia, who was also on the first year team. He came up with with a cup of what they call a cup of coffee with the Mets in 2002, and he became Danny Garcia was the first uh, Cyclone to get to the major leagues, but he didn't play all that long. Uh, but those were like really the only three guys I could think of off the top of my head that actually, or one time or another, actually played for the Mets. Uh, but anyone else that either played with major league team other teams players that played for the Mets, but they were now in the original team. Like Floyd Bannister, who later on played for pitched for Kansas City. Excuse me, Brian Bannister. His father was Floyd Bannister. You also had Dylan G play for the Cyclones for a while. You had, in terms of current Met players, you had I think Noah Syndergaard. I don't think Noah Syndergaard played for the Cyclones, but he made some major leagues. You had you also had I think Bobby Pornell played for the Cyclones for a while, for 1 year. Most of the players played for 1 year for the Cyclones, and they move up. But like I said, 2001 was the best year for the Cyclones because they had the best record in the league. And one thing you didn't talk about was the coaches yet. The coaches, they had Edgardo Alfonso's brother, Edgar Alfonso, was the manager. And as a matter of fact, he left the Cyclones for a while, and then he came back. He managed 2 more seasons with the Cyclones. You had Howard Johnson was the first hitting coach, and he was also the first base coach for the Cyclones. Edgar Alfonso was the third base coach and manager, and Bobby Ojeda was the very first pitching coach. He was the pitching coach for 2001 and in 2002. And Howard Johnson became the manager in the 2002 Cyclones. But like I said, the team got so much publicity, especially for the first year, for baseball returning to Brooklyn, that the very first game aired on Metro, which was the Metro TV channel, which doesn't exist anymore on cable. I think now it's called the NBC Sports Network took over that specific channel on the cable systems. But like I said, not many people had the Metro TV channel, and so people demanding that this game should be on regular TV. And Channel 13 here in New York, which is WNET TV Channel 13, which is a local PBS station, because they don't show any commercials. And of course, actually, so Sesame Street and typical PBS programming on there. They came in and decided to piggyback the Metro network, the Metro TV broadcast of the game, and they simulcast the game on Channel 13, which was great. That means that everybody with a television set could see the first game in Brooklyn, and first professional baseball game in Brooklyn after 44 years. And they thought it was great. And in between innings, they had some interviews with Mayor Giuliani, the Wilpons. They also had features of Corleone. They have a feature on Nathan's, what to see in Corleone, what to experience in Corleone at the time 2001. Just then they had a couple of extra roller coaster rides. They had the Thunderbolt. They had a carousel ride there now. Of course, the aquarium. They also had other segments as well. They interviewed Dawn Hodges, which is Gil Hodges' widow, and they had other little features throughout the game to kill time between half innings, which was terrific. Because you normally don't see live play ball games on Channel 13, and he didn't see one until they had the 1 year in the Israeli league, uh, the Israeli baseball league. But I thought it was great to see the first game, and I happened to tape it. I taped that game because I know it was going to be a story game. Like I said, the team did so well that they made it into the New York Penn League playoffs, and ironically, they played the Staten Island Yankees in the first round of the playoffs. Now, what's wacky? There are several things wrong with the New York Penn League, and this is one of them. The playoffs are like a best 2 out of 3 game playoffs. And what the Staten Island Yankees used to do then, and they still do it now, and that is they would bring down players who won the higher level leagues, like doing AA or AAA, or even the full season A league, like the Tampa Yankees. I'd say they'll bring them down to Staten Island to play. They're playing the Cyclones and to beat the Cyclones in the playoffs. They also would do it for guys who are major league players who are coming off injuries. And the Mets were guilty of this too. I mean, the Mets did it a couple of times too, but not as much as the Yankees did. Bring guys down who had injuries, who were rehabbing. Instead of rehabbing in the AA league, AA team, or AAA team, they were bringing them down to Staten Island, and so they could beat up on the other minor leaguers who are not used to playing against major league talent or major league players. And that's what the Staten Island did. But the Cyclones being 2 out of 3 because they lost the first game to Staten Island. It means they have to win the next 2 in Brooklyn to get into the championship series, and which is what they did. They beat them in the first game. They lost the first game, and then in the first game in Brooklyn, the Cyclones won, and then they won the third game, a decisive game on Saturday night, which was a important day. I forgot slip the date for a minute. But then they played the championship series against the Williamsport Crosscutters, who at that time was the affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates at the time. I think now they're the affiliate. I think now they're the affiliate of the Phillies. Phillies now, but at that time they were the affiliate for the, for the Pirates at the time. What was sad is, of course, what happened was they played the first game of the championship series on Monday, September 10th, 2001. The reason why I'm saying that day is because we know what happens the next day, which was, of course, the 9/11 attack happened the very next day. But that particular day, they had an off day for the championship series anyway. 9/11 attack or no, there was going to be an off day anyway. So all professional baseball games were canceled at every single level, from the major leagues on down. That was really if they were ever going to have, the rest of the series, because I had tickets for the next 2 games. If we went to the full 3, I had tickets for Game 2 and Game 3 of the championship series. So I was wondering what's going on, because you did have a terrorist attack, and it'd be kind of inappropriate to go into the way the train systems work. I had to go through Queens, through all of Manhattan, even downtown Manhattan, go through pretty much all of Brooklyn to get to Coney Island by train. And I was, concerned and worried what the hell was going to be. And then I found out, the New York Penn League decided to cancel all the minor leagues, every single minor league decided to cancel the rest of the playoffs. But with a single exception, in some leagues, depending on the league president, like the International League or the Pacific Coast League, for example, or the Carolina League, if a team has the lead in the series, and if it's the championship, and if it's the quote unquote championship series, if a team has the lead, no matter what the lead is, they decided to give that team the championship. That could have happened with the 2001 Cyclones. They gave them the championship outright because they won the first game. But what they decided to do was they decided to make uh, the Brooklyn Cyclones and Williamsburg Cross Cutters co-champions. Uh, it is a joke. I mean, they should have given the Cyclones outright, but I guess it's tight because since the Cyclones are a Met affiliate, they decided to school them, and it's different amount of the proper stance, but they stiffed them. They stiffed the Cyclones for giving them the championship outright. But they did. The Cyclones did sell T-shirts and did sell hats, and they flew a pennant on the flagpole the next season. But there were times where I thought that there were several players. I'm going back to the players that should have been brought up to the major leagues. There was one pitcher on the Cyclones who was the best pitcher, not only for the Cyclones, but the best pitcher in the league. Ross Peoples. And next year, I think he went up as far as St. Lucie, which is the highest A-League team the Mets have in the system. He didn't get even a chance. Nowhere near close. I think by 2003, he pretty much quit. I don't know if he went play independent ball. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. There was another person named Mike Cox. He should also be given a chance, as plus more other players. Edgar Rodriguez was a third baseman who actually tied the first game of Brooklyn with a 2-1 home run against the Mulholland Valley Scrappers, who was an affiliate of the Indians. They should have given him a chance, but they had another prospect a couple years down the line, like David Wright, who came up. Like I said, there were several prospects who should have given a chance, at least in spring training, to make the team or not. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And also, they had several other players who got stiffed on one way or the other. In 2002, like I said earlier, when Howard Johnson took over the team, he had a player named Ahaji Toure, who was the leading hitter in the team and had the highest batting average in the New York League. But the problem was he was striking out too much. And Howard Johnson, they had an argument with Howard Johnson, who was the manager then, and Hojo told him to go home. And he never played another game in the Mets organization after that. The same thing with Bob Ojeda, who was a damn good pitching coach. And I think he also had an argument that the Mets should give some of these young pitchers they had in the 2001 team, even the 2002 team, a chance to go to spring training or get promoted to bring up them into the Double A team. Or at that time Norfolk, and then eventually New Orleans, and then now Las Vegas as the Triple A teams. The Mets want to gotta give him pitch like 1,000 innings of minor league ball for Rick Peterson, who was then the pitching coach for the Mets then. For him to even work on a minor league player, he wants them to pitch at least like 1,000 innings or 2,000 innings in the minor leagues, which is just ridiculous. Which is such ridiculous and outrageous that he wouldn't give any of these players a chance. Rick Peterson. Now, because of even now, very rarely they have a pitcher down in the minor leagues now named Mats, M-A-T-S. They won't give him a chance to come up because you have Syndergaard now that came up, you have Harvey, you have all these other guys. But to me, the Mets should trade like Nice and Dylan G to another team to get a shortstop, or at least an outfielder who could hit. To have improved, trade Murphy, the shortstop, Flores, and maybe another outfielder for a decent shortstop and an outfielder who can hit. Or like under 30, or even 25-year-old outfielder to hit on this team. We had a problem with the Mets this year, so they can't hit. They should bring up Michael Conforto, who I saw last year, who was the #1 draft pick for the Mets in the 2014 draft. And I was actually at the game where he hit his first professional home run last year. They should give him a chance. At least Conforto can hit. There's no one else except for Cologne, DeGrom, and Syndergaard, who are 3 pitchers, by the way. No one else in the damn team is hitting. Nobody. So they should get somebody up and for the minor leagues who can hit. But the problem is that Go is not mature enough. That's from the Mets stance, which is ridiculous. Um, but for the 2001 Cyclones, I always have fond memories of that particular team because it was fun. Uh, the first game I went to with the 2001 season was actually the third game of the year, and I always have. At first, I had trouble. I said, "Oh, how do I decide when to leave for this game? Because it takes so long on the trains." And then I figured you have to leave at least 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours before a game. So you can get there, you can eat out in Nathan's, which is like 2 blocks from where the ballpark is. And then, of course, I have to line up. I can hang out on the boardwalk a little bit, and then, of course, go into the stadium and get whatever promotion they're giving out. Because if you're not there when the gate is open, you're not going to get the promotion. Because it happens so many times when people show up like a half hour before the game. Let's say the game starts at 7 and you get there like 6 or 6:30, or between 6:30 and 7, you don't even get the promotion. Because they do have 7,500 seats, but unfortunately they only give out like maybe 2,500, or maybe even, or in some cases 3,000 of the promotion. Like a bobblehead doll or something like that, you're lucky they have 2,500 dolls, bobblehead dolls or calves to give out. So if you don't get there almost right away, you're going to be shut out. And the thing that bothered me over the years is that I always would see people who have the dolls uh, within about like 20 minutes would leave. And I see people with 5 or 6 or 7 dolls leaving to the parking lot and go home. To their car, put them in the trunk of their car and leave. Which bothers me because you're all spending money on for the tickets, for parking, for gas, or if you're coming in by train, you're paying tickets for the um, bus fare, which is now $2.75 in New York. $2.75 one way. You spend all that money plus the tickets and parking. Or if you go by car, you get there. You just spend there for 5 minutes, get the promotion and leave. And not even stay for the game. So half the stadium is like empty because or or a quarter of it is empty because people get the promotion and leave. Um, which is what happened when David Rose threw his perfect game. He had um, they're giving out the Beanie Babies, and then the Beanie Babies was the hottest collectible at that time. People just grabbed the Beanie Babies and they left. And they even threw the tickets away, and David Rose ended up throwing a perfect game against Minnesota. So fans got mad at David Rose having the nerve to throw a perfect game. At least for me, at least they stay for the game. But sometimes I have to. I'm lucky to stay there, especially if it's game during the week. I'm lucky to be staying there for an hour and a half and I leave because the train ride is so long. It takes me sometimes 2 hours to even get home. And that's one way. And that's during the week. Imagine on the weekends when they have the weekend track work, it takes even longer. Um, because sometimes the number 7 train, which is a train that's near where I live, sometimes doesn't even ride into Manhattan on the weekends. Only if the Mets are in town during the weekend, it goes all the way to Manhattan. Or during the U.S. Open, where they have to run during the weekends. For the tourists who has a hotel room in Manhattan and go straight to the U.S. Open. But other than that, it takes forever. It does take forever on the train. And so I have to leave early. You have to leave the games early. Now, and that's for games of like weekends, they start games like at 6 o'clock, or Sundays, they start games at 5 o'clock. Which is a little bit easier. At least for me, I can stay there and see the whole game. Actually, I was able to see the whole game. It was a Saturday night, and it started at 6 o'clock, and the game was like 2 hours and 37 minutes long, which was very, very good. But if they went extra innings, so it was a little bit longer. I said, forget it, I'm leaving at 8:30 and that's it. because of how long it takes to get home. From that, that's why my father and I gave up the season tickets uh, after 2004 because of the traveling. Not so much the expense, but the traveling. Because traveling is a pain in the ass. Um, but for 2001, that was, like I said earlier, that was the best Brooklyn Cyclone team. And they had a habit of hiring former Mets to manage the team. They did have, like I said, Howard Johnson managed the team, Mookie Wilson managed the team. You had Tim Tuffle. And Tim Tuffle was very, very good. When he managed the team, I think in 2004, I think it was. Um, you had Wally Backen manage the team. I think Wally Backen was the last former Met to manage the team in 2010. After he managed 1 year in an independent league team, which I did a review of, called Playing for Peanuts. He managed there in 2007 in that league, and it's folded after 1 year. And then a couple years later, you had him manage the Cyclones in 2010. But you also, I think I want to say in 2012, I think it was, Frank Viola was the pitching coach for the Cyclones for that year. Now he's the I think he had like heart surgery. I think like last year, 2 years ago, he had heart surgery. Uh, now he's the pitching coach for the Mets AAA farm team, which was the Las Vegas 51s or Area 51s. Because in reference to the infamous Area 51 base for the military. But they had several coaches over the years, uh, but no one of the second team could manage the first team. Because they didn't have the pitching staff. I don't think they ever had the pitching staff like they had then, or the players they had then. They had Adrian Began, they had Forrest Lawson, Mike Jacobs, like I mentioned earlier. They also had oh gosh, so many players who should have been in the major leagues. So that's my review of the 2001 Brooklyn Cyclones. I know I did a brief overview. I know it's a pretty long video, so it's over almost 32.5 minutes. But thanks for watching this video. And please feel free to comment on it. Feel free to rate on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can also check out my other videos on not only my YouTube channel, but also on rallyc.com. Please check out both sites, my YouTube channel and on rallyc.com. Also, you check out the real Brooklyn Cyclones Facebook page as well. Those are a good page there for if you have a Brooklyn Cyclone fan. And also, thanks for watching this video. And catch you next time. Maybe do another movie review or television show review soon. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.